Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Listen, I'm so excited for you guys to be back with me. Before we get started into anything, make sure you go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe. And make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok at the.brian_. That is the best way to keep in contact with me, see what I am doing, and just let's converse, let's talk, let's do all the things. Y'all, I am doing my thing, and I am finally, getting my feet wet with the whole creating videos again and posting consistently, things of that nature. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I stay on top of that commitment that I decided that I wanted to do and or make. So now that all the pleasantries and all the intros have been out the way, yo, to my 20 somethings, I've been going through this in my head. But yo, I need my 20 somethings and maybe a couple of my 30-year-olds and up people too. So throughout the week, y'all know, I think I've said it, maybe not, but the job that I currently work at is going through like a store closure, so it's like many locations are in the midst of closing, and I'm a full-time manager, so just kind of trying to make sure that I'm in alignment with all things jobs and applying like crazy and revamping the resume and kind of just reaching out to the network that I do have to kind of just see like, hey y'all, this is where I'm at, I need help, I need some income, thank you so much, what's next? And it really started to have me think through how I saw my life or how I planned my life to be when I was in middle school and high school. And I'm like, send me back. Like, it's so funny how, middle school, high school, it was very much so, oh my God, I can't wait till I'm in my 20s. I can't wait till I'm in my 20s. And I'm like, this was a scam. This was a scam. Y'all didn't tell me about this. I'm still gotta roll with the punches and do all these things and like what? Nah. But yeah, it really just had me kind of start to really think through this idea of like, are other 20 somethings and up dealing with what they expected or what they planned their life to be versus what their life currently is? Like, has anybody been navigating that or kind of going through the complexities of that thought of like, yo, I definitely thought that I would be here by now. I definitely thought that I would, have the job right now or have the degree right now or whatever it may be, have the family, have the marriage, whatever it may be. And the more and more I look at a lot of our millennials and people that are kind of are older than us and things of that nature, I'm just like, they're like 20 was trash. Like, I see a lot of podcasts, YouTube videos, and things of that nature of like, yeah, your 20s, like they were no. And although I don't think thus far, I'm 25, but thus far my 20s haven't been like terrible, but maybe because I have no other, nothing else to compare it to. But I think this last year though has been a time. So I don't know if I've been public with everything that has happened, but right around this time last year, the end of my last apartment, that lease was coming up, and I had a roommate, Justin. Y'all know I love him. Shout out to him. He had recently, got engaged, and he told me like some weeks later, like, hey, we were planning on kind of doing our own thing. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But then it left me feeling like, what am I going to do? Like, and I've always said and would be praying like, yo, I want this to be like my last roommate situation if I can help it. So that kind of just where I was. So when he told me that, I'm just like, okay. So our building at the time had got like new management, so they had like different requirements as far as like the requirements that were needed to be a tenant or whatever. And for whatever reason, I was did not meet the requirements. I'm just like, okay. So, but around that same time, my older sister was kind of going through her own little stuff or whatever. So we had, after talking or whatever, we decided that we would try to, find a 2 bedroom apartment together. So we were, sending each other apartments every 5 seconds and calling this person and emailing that person and going to see this apartment, going to see that apartment. And it kind of just was not working out. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus, okay. So I started to feel like an intense amount of pressure. And sometimes when I'm going through things, I don't necessarily know, or I can't necessarily cognitively be like, oh, I feel this, I feel overwhelmed. I can just feel it like kind of just building. But I think, and I was talking to this with somebody else, but I think this idea of like, well, this is kind of just what happens in adulthood. I have to push through. I have to push through. Not realizing I wasn't really acknowledging what was happening or how I was feeling. I was kind of just in survival mode. I was just like, okay, this is just kind of the challenges that are before me. So I'm just like, I have to figure this out. I have to figure this out. So even with the people that I have in my community that, could definitely have helped me, I'm just like, I don't want to be too much. I don't want to, I got it. I got it. So that wasn't working out. And then my sister, with her last living situation, she had a date that she had, and she was okay. If we can't find nothing like that, then we could just, what do you think about like extended stays, or like being in extended stays? And I'm just like, I didn't necessarily, that wasn't necessarily something that I knew of at the time, but I'm like, hey, if we had to, I'm with it. Like, we just, you my sis, so like, let's do it. Cool. So I had pretty much stepped back from, certain responsibilities that I had elsewhere, and I kind of just disappeared for a little bit. I did. And I think from June to September of last year, that was one of the hardest times of my life. Like, going from hotel to hotel, and I had 2 jobs at the time, so going in between 2 jobs while our hotel room where I extended stay was like super far out, like on the outskirts of the city. So you have to consider, making sure that there's gas in the tank, and then money for food, and then money for the room, and then money to still trying to save and look for apartments. So it was just like this overwhelming flow of money out of my bank account all the time, it felt like. And I'm just like, dog, like this and I'm just like, okay, Lord, like you gonna have to do something, because right now I am going through it. I am going through, and I'm trying to have faith, I'm trying to believe in you, I'm trying to trust in you, and I feel like I am, but I'm like, I'm not seeing it actualized or physicalized in my realm, like in my sphere of what is my circumstance. Like, I don't see this in my reality. Like, I need you. And I finally reached this point where, I'm just like, okay, by September, like by my birthday, September 11th, like by September, I need to be in an apartment. Like, I do not want to be in a hotel room on my birthday. I don't want the stress of it. I don't want the pressure of it. I want to be in a hotel, in a apartment or my own place by September. So by the time I got to that point, my sister had kind of came up with her own plans, and she was able to find a job out of state, outside of Chicago. So she decided, hey, what was the date that you wanted to kind of have your own place by? Like, what is like the cutoff date before you had to, And I'm like, actually, I just prayed about this, and I want to be in my own space by September. Like, by my birthday, I do not want to be dealing with this, because this trash. But I was glad that I was with my sister, because I wouldn't have wanted to go through that with anybody else, because we were already in a pressurized situation. We were already having, hard conversations and things of that nature, kind of just things that we were experiencing, how we felt, how we were, dealing with each other, whatever, handling each other. But it's just very much so like, okay, like, what is, so I told her September. and still saving, still applying like crazy. And then it was like, okay, let me start looking for myself again. Like we had already like, okay, maybe the 2 bedroom thing ain't a thing. Like, well, maybe we should just try doing the 1 bedroom thing, and I'll help you move, and then I'll go through with the plans that I had. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I started looking for apartments, and I just was not, getting anything because my thing was with what my price range was, I did not want to be loose with my expectations or be loose with what I wanted just for the sake of having a cheaper price. But with having a cheaper price, you have to kind of give, and what are yeses, what are nos, what are things that are like negotiables, like those, that kind of thing. So I'm just like, okay, so I was kind of figuring out, okay, this is my price range. I don't want to be smack dab in the hood, but I know the areas that I would rather be in is like hella expensive. So it's very much so like, okay, let me compromise a little bit. So going through it, and I started finding some apartments, and I was sending apartments to different people that I trust. Like, hey, it's in this area. What do you think about it? Kind of just wanted wisdom and wanted some sense of, hey, I need help. So after doing that, I started to send apartments to different people. I finally got some responses. I'm like, okay, cool. So I went to different viewings or whatever. And when I walked into the apartment that I'm in now, I'm just like, something about it just was different. And I'm like, this is, it's okay. Like, it is 1 bedroom, and it's just big enough for one person. I say that. But I think, so something just felt different about it. And when I walked in, the way that I was taught, and nice little outfit on, and very professional. Hey, how you doing? Like, knew my credit score, had all the information right then and there, and they're like, okay, cool. And they like, there was other people in the apartment kind of just viewing it, but I'm like, nah, y'all, like, not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm like, I could look at y'all and see, like, I know, excuse me, I know my credit higher than y'all's. Okay, I ain't the, but I said okay. So they were like, how quick are you able to, send in your payments, whatever. And I'm like, as soon as Monday. Like, and they were like, okay, cool. Well, make sure reach out to us on Monday. But if somebody had already, submitted there, it's first come first serve. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, all right, Lord, like, cool. So I'm like, okay, can I at least send half today and then give you the rest of it? They're like, yeah, that'll. I'm like, period. I was like, okay, cool. So I did all the, initial steps and applied and turned in everything that I needed to turn in and things of that nature and all the stuff. And I was able to like get approved and everything. And literally, I think my move-in date was September 1st. And I had to move all my stuff from the storage unit to the apartment. And then I think a couple hours, no, I think I moved the day before, and the very next day I had to sing somewhere. So it was very much so like I had to move all my stuff, get settled in as quick as I could. My sister left the next day, and then later that same night that my sister left, or she left early. That's what it was. She left early that morning that I had to sing. She left. I went back to sleep. Woke up, still kind of moving in, unboxing stuff, and then I had to go sing somewhere. And I literally was able to move into this apartment after being in a hotel room for 3 months. I was able to move in at the time that I told the Lord, "Hey, do me a favor, big dog. Like, I need to be in an apartment, by this day." And my 25th birthday came and went, and I was very, very much so happy. I was very, like, okay, appreciative that I was able to be in something that I could call my own. And I think even when I remember, my very first couple months here, I had boxes still in my apartment for the first like 3 months or so because it just didn't feel real. And I think after going through so much hardship and never really having to experience that amount, that consistency or that consistent state of like being in survival mode. Like I've had my stuff here and there, but I think it did something to my brain of like I always have to be ready to move. Like and it felt foreign to me to kind of settle in and like you can decorate how you want and you can move your space how you want to do it. Like I didn't necessarily have to consider and or ask anybody else. It was very much so like, so what do you want? How do you want it to? And literally, even as different people in my community was like, hey, do you need anything to set the third? I'm like, I'm okay. Like I'm good. And it was very much so like, you sure? But I have a lot of people around me who are like genuine people and that would like legit help. But I think because I felt like I didn't deserve to be settled or feel like, oh, okay, I have my own stuff. I think it did a lot to me, or it informed the way that I kind of navigated life the first several months of me being in this apartment. And I definitely feel like even when I'm in this kind of place that can seemingly remind me of a season that was pretty tough or pretty hard, I have to remind myself that number one, I don't put my trust and or my faith in things that I do see or can perceive, but I do believe that, hey Lord, you been told me and got me prepared to leave this specific job that I'm at now. And now I'm in this place where it's just like, okay, somewhere, somehow, provision is definitely going to reveal itself. And, some way, somehow, this thing will get figured out. So, although I can see, June coming and it feels like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I also can't deny the fact that the Lord knows what he's doing. So it's just like, even in my unbelief or whatever, like Lord definitely help me with that and definitely, reveal to me what's in my heart as I navigate like, okay, I'm nervous or I'm anxious right now. Why? But at the same time, it's just like, I have to do everything that I can do in the physical realm, but also I also have to put my trust in the Lord and everything that I believe that he said that he would do, everything that he said that he would provide. Like I have to believe that, because if I don't, I'll be in shambles. So yeah, I'm currently applying like crazy. I am, I already have a good amount in like a few accounts that I have. So I'm just like, okay, even if I had to, do some things that I didn't necessarily want to do, because I have been planning for stuff like this, or a rainy day, if you will. I'm not as stressed out as I would have been if I wasn't prepared. So, this is why you prepare. Amen. But yeah, I don't know. I just really felt led to kind of just share that experience and my current experience that I'm going through. So, I will definitely keep y'all updated, because things can seemingly seem uncertain, but I'm just like, nah, it's gonna work out. Like, it's gonna work out. It's gonna be what it needs to be, rather. So, but yes, so I'm very, very much so committed to continue to welcome y'all in on this journey called life. Ew, that sounds so deep, but for real. So as life continues and I go on, different journeys and different adventures and things of that nature, I will definitely do my best and committed to continue to keep the camera on and sharing with y'all. I don't necessarily know who this will reach, or I don't know all the details, but I just know what I feel on the inside. So I'm just gonna continue to just throw my stuff out there. And at the opportune time, I believe that I will end up where I need to end up, in the places that I need to end up in, at the time that I need to end up at those places. So, yes, that is the video. I know it was a kind of bit of a switch up of what I said I was going to do as far as weekly vlogs. But I'm like, hey, if I'm not going to do something, I at least need to provide something else. So, that is me doing that. I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely grateful and thankful that y'all all were able to tune in. And yeah, please, DM me some ideas or things that, things I should try, or just different things. Because I'm the kind of person, I'll try anything once. Okay? And after that one time, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, not doing that again. Oh, I can do that, or I could tweak that. So I'm definitely an adventurous person at heart. So I definitely want to do more things and bring y'all in on more of my life and my thoughts and my ideas. So I'm definitely excited for that to continue to, um, be built and be put out there. So definitely excited. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe, and make sure y'all go ahead and follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the.Brian, because why would you not? Oh, okay. But anyway, I'm so excited y'all were able to tune in with me, and yeah, that concludes the end of this video, and I'm excited to whatever next looks like, and but until then, I will see you later. Period. Bye, y'all.